You have to stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself about the things that are going on inside of you. Stop lying to yourself about your life. Stop lying to yourself about everything that is happening. Stop lying and making excuses for your own fears. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mystic Temple Spirituality for a New Age. I'm Monica Bay, also known as the Divine Mother, and I am here to bring you truth. Okay, so today we have something amazing as always. Let's talk about it as always. Okay, we're actually going to do a two-part series today. It needs to be broken up into two parts because it's deep. Okay, and we want to also give you the tools that you need to actually apply this information to your real everyday life practically. Okay, all right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this divinity session. But first, I just want to express my gratitude for all of you watching, all of you who have been supporting, all of you who have been volunteering as well. And I also want to make sure that I bring it to everyone's attention. We are looking for more volunteers. So if you are feeling called to join us in the spiritual revolution, please do so at the link below. You can simply apply to be a volunteer. You can be a light messenger. You can also apply to be a light guardian. Of course, the light guardians have to be divinely chosen, but if you apply, we will check with the cosmic collective consciousness and see if you are approved to be a light guardian in your area. And if you want more information about the Global Awakening Initiative, everything that we're doing, and this is only the beginning, guys, but if you want more information about everything we're doing, go to the link below, mystictemple.org, and you can click on the menu and it'll show you the Global Awakening page, and it'll tell you all about what we're doing, what our goals are, what our mission is. And again, if you feel called to join this mission with us, wherever you are in the world, please do so. Simply apply to be a volunteer in any aspect. We need help in all in all areas. There has never been a revolution that has been done with one person, okay? So we need multiple people, and this is divinely given. So we already know where this is going and what's going to happen. But if you, of course, want to be actively involved, please volunteer. We would definitely welcome your help. So with that all being said, let's jump into today's divinity session with the Book of Rasheeda. This passage is as follows. When we decide to see the truth and no longer deny it, this is when we are truly free, unencumbered. See the light. Our light is here and it doesn't leave. We only need to acknowledge it for what it is. Don't be blinded by the veils of lies under perceived truth. And we're going to stop there. So this passage is layered and layered with multiple meanings, layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. And we're going to talk about a couple of those meanings. So first of all, this passage is talking about the deep truths that lie within us that sometimes we ignore, but the critical need for us to acknowledge those truths and to see those truths as part of our spiritual journey. And it talks about freedom, which also leads to the point that denial of your inner truths, and we're going to talk about your inner truths in a second, but listen to me when I say this to you. Denial of your inner truths is a form of spiritual bondage. Bam. Okay, message. Denial of your inner truth is a form of spiritual bondage. And the opposite of that, the acknowledgement of that inner truth, is a form of freedom. Now, what is this inner truth? This inner truth is both our shadows and our light. Remember duality. We have both within us. And with those shadows, what are those shadows? Those shadows could be your deep-rooted fears, your deep-rooted traumas. And we've talked about that before with the need for healing, right? But in order to do that, you have to come to the acknowledgement that these things are inside of you. And these inner truths are what's really making you tick. These inner truths are what you really feel. And these inner truths lead you to be your authentic self on your journey of healing, on your journey of spiritual growth, on your journey of spiritual transformation. It leads you to your authentic self. And it is a major, major part of your spiritual transformation. So if you are not seeing the truth of what's inside of you, if you're running from the truth, if you are denying your own truth, you are denying yourself. You are putting yourself in spiritual bondage. True freedom comes from shedding those falsehoods that blind us. That's true freedom, from shedding all of those things so that we can really see the truth, looking inside of ourselves, not ignoring it because, oh, we don't want to see that. We only want to be comfortable all the time. Remember what we talked about before, okay? Too much comfortability, too much comfort, too much peace leads to chaos within you, within you and around you. Why? Because you are on a hamster wheel. We need to be jarred. We need change in order to grow. And being jarred, being uncomfortable for a few moments allows us the space to grow. So we can't just keep ignoring. And I say this to you, and I know a lot of you are doing this right now, and you can really relate to what I'm saying. You have to stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself about the things that are going on inside of you. Stop lying to yourself about your life. Stop lying to yourself about everything that is happening. Stop lying and making excuses for your own fears. It's time to shed those fears. It's time to be in yourself. That's what this passage is saying. The light is always there. When they're talking about the light, they're of course talking about that divine light within us, but they're also talking about shedding the light. Oof, I feel that. They're also talking about shedding the light on your shadows, on the things that you choose to sweep under the rug, the things that you choose to ignore. And these are the things that you need to pay attention to in order to continue on your spiritual journey. Remember why we're here. We are here to grow spiritually. We're also here to experience the human experience. But we're talking about spirituality right now in this moment. And then we're going to talk about the other stuff. So, what's important is that you recognize these things. And I want you to think to yourself right now, what are the things that you're lying to yourself about right now? I want you to think about that. And again, be honest with yourself. Don't try to sweep it under the rug. Don't try to sweep it under the rug. That doesn't work. Anything swept under the rug comes back, okay, to rear its ugly head when you're not looking. That's what happens. That's just the way it works, people. That's just the way it works. So if you understand this and you know how important your journey is, how important your inner power is, then you know that this is something that needs to be focused on. This is something that needs to be worked on. And when I say work, we don't mean like, oh my God, this is all this work we have to do, right? It doesn't actually have to be that difficult, people. It really doesn't have to be that difficult. All you have to do is face these inner demons, face these things inside of yourself, these truths. And sometimes they're not demons, sometimes they're positive qualities that we are still ignoring. Why? Because we fear our gifts all the time. How many of you at home fear your gifts? How many of you at home feel like, okay, yes, I have this gift. I've always had this gift, but I'm afraid to tap into it. I hear that all the time from people. And what are you doing? You're putting yourself in spiritual bondage. You are not free. You are not free. And this is why the Book of Rasheeda says in an earlier passage, those who hear with open channels will be freed. Those who hear with open channels will be freed. Freed from what? Spiritual bondage. Freed from a lot of things. Freed from the matrix. Okay? And when we're talking about the matrix, when I use that term for those of you who are unfamiliar with that or don't really know exactly what I mean when I refer to the matrix, I'm talking about this illusionary world that we're living in. This illusionary world that we get stuck in, that we get caught in. And it's easy for us to forget who we are in our path. And that is the point of the matrix, is so that we don't remember who we are. And then the name of the game is to come back into remembrance of who we are. So I want you to think about that question. What are you lying to yourself about? Because there's likely something that you're lying to yourself about. And I want you to acknowledge that and then do something about it. We're going to talk about practical applications of this a little later. And also the things that are inside of us that we need to shed light on, that we need to actually see and acknowledge and be real about, are also the influences of society. These are some of the shadows that we sweep under the rug. We say, oh no, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is how I am, right? We don't realize that we are the product of our environment. We are the product of our indoctrinations. We are the product of the media. We are the product of our parents. We are the product of tons of brainwashing and societal expectations. So, are you who you are because of what society expects you to be, or are you who you are because that's really truly your authentic self? Think about that. And in addition to these things that we're indoctrinated with, we also bring our own biases and misconceptions to the game, which skews the lens with which we see the world. And our perception of the world can change our entire reality. Your perception actually makes your reality. If you believe that these people over here don't like you because the color of your skin, or these people over here don't like you because you're a little too thick, or these people over here don't like you because of your accent, or whatever it is, right? If you believe those things, that is, if that's the lens with which you see the world, that's what you're going to attribute everything to, when sometimes it's not that at all. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it could be, but sometimes it's not that at all. And this is the problem. This is the problem through your own misconceptions. And again, it's because of experiences. We are the product of our experiences, and that's natural. That's not your fault, but it's important to recognize when you are acting in a certain way due to your experiences, or reacting in a certain way due to your experiences, when you hold certain beliefs due to your experiences. And a lot of times those beliefs are negative beliefs that I'm referring to, where you automatically, viscerally don't like something because of past experiences, or you don't like a certain category of things, whatever that is, or a certain category of people. These are biases. These are shadows that you need to look at and face and be honest with yourself about. These are the inner truths that you need to then see first before you can wipe them out, because wiping them out frees you. Because again, this is all an illusion. None of that is real. None of that is real. And even if it is actually real in the moment, in certain circumstances, it doesn't actually matter. Doesn't actually matter. So I always tell people, how do you know something matters? And I think I've done this before in a previous divinity session, but how do you know that something actually matters in your life? Like whatever it is that you're getting all worked up about. How do you know it actually matters? One, you ask yourself two questions. One, is this going to matter in 10 years? Usually the answer is no. And two, is this what I'm going to be thinking about on my deathbed? Usually the answer is definitely no. So when you ask those questions and those are your answers, no, it's not important. Let it go. Move on. Because that puts you in bondage. As long as you allow things to affect you, it puts you in bondage. Freedom is not being affected. Freedom is being in control of your emotions, being in control over your mind, over your thoughts, over your emotions, over who you are, over your authenticity. That is freedom. Unencumbered, unbound, unrestricted. That is freedom. And you know what else is freedom? Your power. Being able to fully be in your power, recognizing your infinite power. That's also a reference to the light. That is your infinite power that you have inside of you. Not understanding those truths within you makes you powerless, and you are never powerless. But this is a perception of your powerlessness that creates actual powerlessness in this world. Rewind that, listen to that again. Message, okay? So, in this passage, when they're referring to seeing the light and the truth inside of you and not denying it, they're also referring to your power. Don't deny your power. Don't deny your authenticity. Don't deny who you really are. Don't deny the truths within you that need to be corrected, that need to be transformed, that need to be transmuted. And also, don't deny the truth within you that you should be rejoicing about, not in fear, not in fear. You should never be afraid of who you really are. And this is what's happened with a lot of religions out there. They have made you afraid of who you are. Why should you ever be afraid of your gifts? This is who you are. It is called a gift because it's a gift. It's a good thing. Okay, it is a good thing. But religions out there will have you fearing it. They'll have you believing it's evil. They'll have you believing, oh, it's from something else. No, it is a gift. You have gifts, and you are powerful beyond measure. And once you recognize this inner truth, then you are unencumbered and free. And then it says, don't be blinded by the veils of lies under perceived truth. What are the veils of lies? These are the misconceptions, these are the biases, these are the illusions that prevent you from seeing your light, from seeing your true self, from seeing the truths that lie within, whatever they may be, dark or light. These veils of truth, they're veils of truth because you may believe they're truth. These are limiting beliefs. You may believe that they are true because you haven't asked any different. You haven't asked the right questions. You are just following. You are just believing without asking questions. Asking questions is important, okay? It's important for you to ask questions so that you can determine, especially questions within yourself, so that you can determine those inner truths. So here's an example. Your idea of success, very commonly, is someone else's idea of success, is societal norms, is what society tells you is successful is what you think is successful. Then you chase it and chase it and chase it. Then when you get it, you're like, well, this didn't bring me happiness. This is another example. And there are many more of lies that you tell yourself and believe, or that others tell you and then you believe and you act accordingly. So, what this passage is really bringing home to you all is the need for inner work, especially when you're dealing with certain situations. When you are dealing with situations with people, when you're dealing with situations in your life, you need to be present in those situations and you need to tap in. You need to really see the truth that lies within what's really going on so that you can, one, traverse through any challenges that you have in life, but also get stronger and stronger on your spiritual journey and continue to grow, not be on a hamster wheel because you're lying to yourself about things. It's important that you be strong and honest with yourself. That is inner strength. That is strength to be able to look at those things because it's easy to ignore them. It doesn't help. You eventually regret ignoring them, but it's easy to do so in the moment. And so, again, this passage is making sure that you really understand this because it's important. The things that are in the Book of Rasheeda are there because they're important. Okay? They're important. They're not coming and giving us lasagna recipes. These are important. These are important to our journey. These are important to ushering in this new world. This is a guide on how to be. This is a guide on how to move forward. Now, I'm going to give you guys just a few scenarios on how you can actually apply the lessons that we're learning here today in your practical everyday life. So, one of the main things that many people have, I would say about at least 80% of human beings have this, and that is a fear of failure. So when you have a fear of failure, you recognize that you have a fear of failure. Usually a fear of failure will stop you from moving forward. It'll stop you in your tracks. It'll stop you from taking risks. It'll stop you from achieving your dreams because then you will start to self-sabotage because you don't want to rise and then fall. And so when you have a fear of failure, one of the things, ways that you can apply this message today is what do? Look at your inner truth. Recognize that you have that fear of failure and dig in deep. Find out where it comes from. See where that fear of failure comes from and then begin doing the work to circumvent it, to wipe it out. Doing meditation works, shamanic journeying works, hypnosis works, energy healing works, and all of that. Doing some work, journaling can help as well. Doing some work to then start really getting that out there. That is seeing your inner truth, releasing it, and then freedom. freedom, freedom, because it's a bondage. Fear is a bondage. Understand that fear is a major bondage. And here's another way that you can apply this message. If you are in a relationship and you guys are having some problems, or you're not feeling appreciated, you're not feeling loved, you're not feeling whatever's going on in that relationship, be honest. This is about unveiling truths, right? Recognizing truths, not hiding from them, not denying them. That is a truth within yourself and a truth within your relationship. So it's important that it be addressed. And if it's not addressed properly, everything will fall apart because that those types of things will fester. So again, I'm just giving you guys different kinds of examples of different types of situations where this can be applied. So really, at the end of the day, whatever it is that's going on in your life that is a problem or a challenge, whatever it is that's going on, uh, if it's coming from you and you recognize it's coming from you, first of all, that's another truth that you need to recognize and be able to be open enough to see, asking the right questions. So whatever it is that's going on, you have to look within and you have to look at the entire situation and open yourself up for the truth, not being afraid to see it, not being afraid to face it, not being afraid to react to it in a positive way, taking the light path. The light path is inner work. How do we correct the situation? How do we make sure that we can move forward in a positive way so that this entire thing is not dictating my life? Because, okay, you have the fear of failure. Does that mean that you should just never achieve anything in life ever? No. If you have a fear of failure, then you work on that so that you no longer have a fear of failure and then you can move on. Okay? So we don't just sit in our problems and stay there forever. The light pathway and the emotionally intelligent way and the spiritually intelligent way to approach any situation is with inner truth and, most importantly, inner power. Because your power is what will always get you through. Your power is what will help you move through. Your power is what will help you knock out the obstacles in your path, including the obstacles within yourself. So, what I want you to walk away with today is a remembrance of your inner power and the reality that your inner truths must be faced. You can no longer deny them, you can no longer ignore them. You have to face them and you have to deal with them so that you can move forward. Because life is a journey, it's not standing still. As long as you continue to ignore your gifts, as long as you continue to ignore your challenges, as long as you continue to ignore the things that are going on in your life and deep within, you will be standing still. I need you to move. We need to move. We need to move and charge forward into this new world. We need to grow. We need to evolve. We need to ascend. This is what we're here for. And this is what the Book of Rasheeda needs from all of you right now. Pay attention. Listen. Listen and listen. Okay? And do what you need to do. Now, next week, part two of this, we're actually going to do a guided meditation where I'm going to help you all release these things, unveil these inner truths, lift the veil on these lies that you've been telling yourself. We're going to lift the veil. We're going to rip the veil off, okay? And then we are going to do some healing around that. Okay, so make sure that you attend next week and it's going to be amazing and transformative. And of course, whenever I do a meditation, I'm always allowing the cosmic collective consciousness to guide me. So this will be a channeled meditation directly from them to you as a gift to help you actually practically use these tools and these lessons that the Book of Rasheeda is giving us. And with that, I'm now going to speak love, light, and power into all of you at home using the divine language. Okay. Vet, vet destu, o shakumo. O Shakumo, O Shakumo Lihoki, O Shakumo Lihoki, Destu, Destu, O Shakumo Lihoki, O Shakumo Lihoki, Kumo, 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 Kume Lihoki, Kumo Lihoki Bikosa, 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 Osha Bikosa, Osha Bikosa Destu, Osha Bikosa Destu Ishna, Ishna, Ishna Destu, Ishna Destu, Ishna Destu, Kumo, 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 Kumo. Kumo Briel, Kumo, Kumo, Eshna Popoeshnasha, Eshna Popoeshnasha, Eshna Popoeshnasha. And with that, we will end with a prayer in the divine language, which essentially means peace be unto you. Zor Kumti. And I'll see you next time. And as you guys know, Mystic Temple is a nonprofit. And so any help that you can give us towards this Global Awakening Initiative, remember this is a spiritual revolution. It requires people. It also requires money. All of this costs money, guys. So if you are really enjoying these divinity sessions, if this is really impacting you, and if you would like to help us move forward into this new world, we are accepting donations. You can go to mystictemple.org here at the link below and click on the donation button. And any amount that you can give will be much appreciated. All amounts will go towards a Global Awakening initiative, helping to get the word out, the Book of Rasheeda out, helping to spread peace, helping to spread love in local communities. We're doing a lot of community outreach. We're starting phase 3 of the Global Awakening Initiative. And again, any help that you can give will be much appreciated. So thank you in advance and gratitude.
No more attachments. I'm breaking free. Cut the energy cause I'm finally me. No more worries. No more shadows, no more pretend. I'm free to be me. It's a brand new trend. Cut the ties, I'm breaking loose. No more secrets. No more secrets. Breaking the cycle, breaking the mold. I'm rising up. Watch the new me unfold. Yeah. Reset the ties. I'm breaking loose. No more secrets. Breaking the mold. I'm rising up. Watch the new me unfold. No more attachments. I'm breaking free. Cut the energy cords. I'm